Hi, I'm Nancy O'Neill. Today on Suncoast FYI, we talk to Claudia Harden and Nicole Drone with Cat Depot, magician John Frazzini with Magic Zone, and Linda Greaves with Mental Health Community Centers. All next on Suncoast FYI. This month, we welcome back Director of Communications Claudia Harden and Communications Specialist Nicole Drone with Cat Depot. Always nice to see you ladies, and you always bring lovely little furry friends with you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, of course. So who do we have today?
This is Roz.
Roz, and she's sleepy.
She is. She's a little tired girl this morning. Kind of woke her up from her mid-morning nap.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, she's adorable. And Nicole, who do you have with you?
And this is Eleanor.
Eleanor, can you tell us a little bit about them?
Sure, they are both about 13 weeks old, currently available for adoption at Cat Depot. They did come to us as strays off the streets here in Sarasota. And it is our mission at Cat Depot to make sure that every kitten that is brought into us is able to find a home, whether it's through us or another organization.
That's wonderful. So somebody brought them in, found them on the streets and brought them into you?
Yes.
Okay.
We do get that quite often.
Okay.
We do like to tell people that if they do happen to see kittens on the street, give it a little bit of time before they pick them up off the street and bring them to us, because you never know, mom might be right around the corner.
So how long actually do you recommend then? Like they stay and watch them a half an hour, they see them the next day? I mean, how long?
I would probably wait until the next day, unless it's bad weather and you feel like something may happen to them, immediate danger, and they need to get them off the streets. Otherwise, probably give it about a day. Make sure mom doesn't come back to care for them, because mom is the best caretaker.
Absolutely, as we know, So you're always having wonderful events, so I'm sure you have another event coming up, another adoption event that you wanted to let us know about today.
Yes, we've got Home for the Holidays. It's an adoption event happening December 9th and 10th. It's sponsored by Subaru and ASPCA. And with your adoption fee of $20, you get a carrier. I call them cat carrier to take home with you.
Okay, are they the hard little cat?
The hard-sided carrier. So it's
very
really
nice.
Yes, it's really great to go ahead and get that one out of the way.
Yeah. Absolutely. And what could be better Christmas present for the or a holiday present than a nice little kitten or a cat?
So when I agree, all those children out there are going to be wanting kittens.
Yeah.
So what do you recommend people look for when they're adopting? I mean, what should they keep in mind? What are some of the things they should be aware of?
Definitely one of the things that we ask people when they do come into Cat Depot, particularly for the first time, is let the cats come to you. Let them pick you. Don't force yourself upon the kitty trying to, well, I like the way that one looks. Definitely look for personality, make sure they're a good fit for your family. If you have a very busy, active lifestyle, maybe one of our kitties that's a more laid back might work better, maybe it might not. Maybe you want a kitty that's more like a puppy dog who likes to follow you around and see exactly what's going on every
So they're not so different than dogs are. It's the same thing when I've chosen puppies, I've let them come to me. And I never thought about that with a cat, because they always seem so aloof.
Yes.
But there are some that are more
laid back here, like Roz.
Oh, I'm sure she's not like that all the time, right?
No, she was definitely very rambunctious this morning when we went to.
Oh, I guess she got all of that out of her this morning.
Absolutely.
So, again, refresh my memory. You get the carrier, you get all the shots.
Yes, they're
What
fixed.
else?
You get the shots, the vaccines. They are seen by a vet, our vet in the shelter. You get the carrier. You get a little adoption bag. You kind of get a setup with your first little kitty.
Most importantly, you get a new forever friend.
Oh my gosh, they're so adorable. Now, feeding, I mean, what's that like? Do you give them food to go home with? Do you give people instructions on what to feed them?
All new adopters do get some wet food as well as some dry that they're currently being fed in the shelter, whether it's their normal diet or if they happen to be on a special diet, they'll get a starter supply of that, as well as instructions on how to feed their new animal friend. And yeah.
And you have older kitties there too.
We
If somebody,
do.
like you said, wants to adapt a more laid-back kitty, that might be
Absolutely,
the
we
way for
do.
them to go.
We have a cat right now who is 13 years old. She is the oldest in the shelter right now.
Okay, so a little bit of everything for everybody.
Absolutely.
Another thing coming up, and we'll talk a little bit ahead here because it will be upon us in no time.
Before we know it.
Spring event fundraiser.
Yes.
What's that? What's that about, Claudia?
So historically, our annual fundraiser is, well, it's always held in the springtime, has been a sit-down plated dinner. This year we're changing things up a little bit and we're moving more towards a cocktail reception that will actually be held at Marie Selby Botanical Gardens on March 9th.
Okay.
And anyone looking for more information will be able to find that on our website.
Yeah, so you can go to our website and you can find information about sponsorships. You'll find the save the date and you can purchase tickets, and you can also, we're doing something new this year, you can be an underwriter for the event. So you can sponsor the bars, you can sponsor the valet, you can sponsor the food.
Oh, wonderful.
Kind of get your signage and your company's name out there.
Awesome. Okay.
Absolutely.
And that'll be on your website now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So, again, these little lovely creatures here.
She's purring away right now.
I know.
Too. They're both little
I
purr
love it.
boxes.
I
Purr
love it.
machines right now.
And they
Well-
are friends, so they would be good to go together.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And you have had a very good success rate with your adoptions, right? I want to
Yes.
finish with that because you do so much. I want to let people know that.
Absolutely.
You get a lot of-
in 2016, we adopted out 1,532
That's amazing.
cats and kittens, and we're on track this year to actually beat that number.
Awesome, awesome. Well, congratulations,
Thank you
because I
very
know how hard you work.
Thank you.
Great, nice seeing you both again.
You.
Coming up next on Suncoast FYI, magic is in the air as we talk to local magician John Frazzini. Please stay tuned. Our next guest is magician John Frazzini with Magic Zone. Don't make me disappear yet. Wait till we're finished.
Okay.
Although some people would like me to disappear now. What is Magic Zone?
Magic Zone is my company, and I perform magic.
Okay, that
and I
makes
perform
sense.
magic for many different kinds of groups.
All right. And well, tell us about Magic Zone. I mean, you do what type of things in this Magic Zone?
Well, I do children's shows,
Okay.
and I do senior citizens' homes.
All right.
I do nonprofit fundraising. So I'm pretty much a children's stage performer, if you think of it that way.
Okay.
I don't do a lot of sleight of hand. It's mostly to entertain children.
Okay, and we'll see some of those in a moment. I know you
Yeah.
brought some tricks with you.
Yep.
Magic tricks with you. How long have you been a magician, and what got you involved in that?
Well, I started in 1972, so it's been a while.
Okay.
And I guess it all came about because I was a minor in speech and dramatic arts in college. And I was in many plays off Broadway and summer stock type of performances. And then once a family came along, as you know, it's very hard to carve out time for the rehearsals and the amount of time it takes to be in the theater.
Right.
And so I wanted to find a venue that I could use my talents and at the same time, not impact the family life. Well, Magic provides me where I schedule myself. I have my own rehearsal times. I don't have to rely on other people and other rehearsal times. So that's I found that as a good way for me to pursue the entertainment side.
Okay. So when you go there, do you ask the children what they want to see? Do you have a set performance that you go in with, and you vary it from different groups depending on whether they're
Sure.
adults or children? So you tailor,
Definitely
to
vary
them.
it. Yes, but I talk with the if it's a children's party or an event, I talk with the event organizer or parents, and I find out what it is that a little information about their child.
Okay.
Is she going to be 8 years old? Is he 10? Because as we look at the different age groups of the attendees of the show, you can do different things. I like to tease them and say, well, the older the kids are, the more body parts get cut off. So you get to teenagers, you have to make it something interesting.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, there's a lot of cutting them in half and things like that. You don't do that with a 5- and 6-year-old group. So by knowing the group you're going to, that structures the show to some degree, and then there is a sequence. So there's an opening, an ending, and a middle. Like any other speech, there's a beginning, ending, and middle. So there's sucker tricks. These are tricks where the kids think they know, they've captured the magician.
Yes, yes.
And then the magician turns the tables on them at the last minute, and they go, oh.
I love it.
That's built into the show, and early on, like the second trick, because the whole idea is to get the kids to say, this guy's got some skills, I better pay attention to him. It's pretty structured when I go in, and I already know what I'm going to do.
And do you get them involved? You were saying, I mean, you give them that kind of wow factor, but is it an interactive kind of performance that you do with them?
Absolutely. In fact, there's 2 forms of interactive. There's interactive where I invite them to the stage or performing area, and they actually get a costume put on them, or they participate in some form physically with the magic. Or it's a group participation where they all are participating on some form, whether they're all raising their hands, they're all clapping, they're all doing something to make the magic happen, so to speak. Okay,
so speaking of magic, can we see a few of your tricks of trade?
Sure. Okay. So I would do for a children's show, I would take something like a rope and a ring. Yeah. The rope goes in the ring like that, and I would just pull the rope through the ring so that it's secured on the ring.
Okay.
Then I would tell the children that I discovered that if I pull these 2 ropes, the ring goes up like an elevator, 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor.
Okay.
And then I might say something like, however, this ring has an attitude. Do you know what an attitude is? And the kids go, yes.
Oh, yeah?
Have you ever had an attitude? And that's when the parents jump in, say, yes. And I go, this ring has an attitude because it actually likes it on the roof of the building, but the elevator only goes to the top floor. So when the elevator gets to the top floor, the ring just jumps off the rope like that. So that's what we would have for,
cool.
That's called patter or story. I would tell that story when I'm doing it. Or I would tell another story. I would say, you know what inspired me to be a magician was when I was 8 years old, my neighbor came over and he took a rope and he put it around my neck like this. And then he tied the rope around my neck. You got to do all the acting, right? And then he tied a knot in the rope and he said, I'm going to pull the rope through my neck and the knot's still going to be on the rope. I said, no. He said, yes. I said, no. He said, yes, I'm going to pull the rope through my neck and the knot will still be on the rope. Like
oh my gosh. That is amazing. That is very cool. Okay.
I have one more.
Yeah,
oh,
let's see it.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I could
sit here all morning with you.
I do a lot of shows for 4 and 5 and 4 and 5 year olds, young, and I do this rope trick. And actually, you could be of help today.
Okay.
What you could do is help me because when I do this rope trick, I come to a part that they don't understand how to answer my questions, and so I had to come up with a reasoning, a logic that a 4 or 5 year old could understand. So I'm going to try it on you, and you tell me whether it works.
Okay.
I go. Let's count the ropes. Now, when they're 4 and 5, they can go 1, they can go 2, they can go 3.
Yep.
There's 3 ropes, and then I would ask them, are these ropes the same size? Now, even at 4 and 5, they know to say no, they're not the same size.
Exactly.
Okay. Here's where the problem is. I then ask them, how do you know they're not the same size? Well, at 4 and 5, they can't use a ruler, so they can't say this is so many inches, and therefore less inches, it's different size. They don't know how to answer the question, how do you know that? So this is what I came up with.
Okay.
I said, if the 3 ropes, one end of them are in the same place like that, and the other 3 ends are in 3 different places, the ropes are different lengths.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
And then mostly they say yes. So I said, now if I can now continue because you understand that they were not the same size.
Right.
And you know why. So I take it like this and I go, now I can go on with the trick. And right then a little girl in the back raised her hand and said, Magician John, all the ends are in the same place. Does that mean all the ropes are the same length?
Oh.
Now I'm in trouble.
Okay.
But this is exactly what I did. I snapped my finger once for each rope. And I said, yes, young lady, the ropes are all the same length. There's one, there's two, there's three ropes all the same length.
Oh my gosh.
Because all the ends are in the same place. However, if I were to put the ends in a different place like this,
You've confused me enough this morning.
I could say, really, the entire time we were doing this, there was three ropes. Oops, excuse me, I dropped them. A small, a medium, and a long rope.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Tell our viewers where they can go to find you, please.
You can find me on my website, macon-magic.com.
Okay, make sure to put that dash in there.
Yes, macon-magic.com.
All right.
And you'll find me, and you'll find all my programs.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. It was such a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you, Nancy. It's great.
After the break, we learn more about local mental health centers, so please stay tuned. Our last guest this week is Linda Greaves with Mental Health Community Center. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
And it's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you.
Thank you. Can you please tell myself and our viewers what the mental health community centers are?
Yes, it's a pleasure to be able to have a conversation about our part in the community, because there's a lot of emphasis on mental health nationally, and to be able to be here today and talk about how we partner in the community to provide a solution for those diagnosed with a mental health illness.
And how do you do that, Linda?
Mental health community centers are wellness centers or drop-in centers where individuals can come every day and talk about their recovery.
Okay. And how do they find you?
Usually we have referrals through doctor's offices, private practitioners, the many organizations that we collaborate with, and we have referral sources with First Step, Coastal, different ALF facilities, and residential facilities. We work with Renaissance. There's just a whole partnership of organizations in the community who are trying to help this vulnerable population.
Absolutely. And you know, I've been reading the paper, the Herald Tribune has been doing wonderful articles about people sharing their stories, because you know, it's not something to be embarrassed about. I mean, everybody has problems, and it's nice to know that you're out there and helping people.
Yes, and as you mentioned that, many of our members were featured in those stories with their artwork, and it was wonderful coverage from the Herald Tribune.
Great. Yes, they've been great. Now, what other lines of services do you have? I mean, you spoke about the drop-in, they can come in anytime.
Yes.
But what are some of the other services you provide?
It's an educational opportunity for these individuals to come, and we're serving about 640 individuals in Sarasota County each year. And we provide wellness services, they're evidence-based practices, initiatives that are following the SAMHSA, or the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Association nationally. There are 8 dimensions of wellness, including emotional, financial, you know, different types of initiatives like that they're coming to learn each day. And when I say 640 members coming to join us, we have 5 facilities. So
in Sarasota?
In Sarasota County, and there's 4 facilities, excuse me, and 1 in DeSoto County. So we average, our daily census is about 71 to 78 people a day. So if you look at that across the year, that's almost 20,000 visits to our centers.
Amazing. Now, how do you fund your centers with all of those people coming in and those types of numbers, Linda?
We're funded, we have a state contract with our largest funder, which is Central Florida Behavioral Health Network. And in fact, our executive director and program operations director are there today accepting an award as a 5-star agency.
Wow.
And we're also an accredited organization, thank you. And so we're funded statewide, we're funded locally by Sarasota County government, and then we have a very diverse group of foundations that fund our organization. We have special events, and if I might, I'd love to tell you about a special, very special event we have coming up.
Absolutely, that's why we're here.
Oh,
Please
good.
do.
It's called High Hopes Breakfast, and its registration is at 8 o'clock in the morning on December 7th at Michael's on East.
Okay, now that's a Friday?
It's a Thursday.
It's a Thursday.
Actually.
Thank you.
And Judge Erica Quartermain from the 12th District Court here in Sarasota will be our featured keynote speaker.
Awesome.
And she's going to address navigating mental health in criminal courts. So I think it's a very worthwhile educational presentation that many people are already signed up to attend.
And where are you located, Linda?
We're located on Tuttle Avenue, our main administrative building. And then we're in Northport, Arcadia, and Venice as well. We have facilities there, and we own 3 of our facilities. And so people can drop by, and we do take members through a referral source, but come and have a tour and learn more about us.
Right. So where can our viewers go to find out about you and on the web?
Yes, www.mhcci.com.
Okay, and all of the locations will be listed there?
Yes.
And your business hours will also be there as well?
Absolutely, 9 to 4 every day.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Helping our citizens. Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Suncoast FYI. We will return after a short break. Coming up this Saturday on the Suncoast, the 3rd annual Snow Crab Festival will take place at the Whitaker Gateway Park in Sarasota. J-Dubs will be hosting the 73-degree flea market, a free family and dog-friendly event. And mark your calendars for the Atomic Holiday Bazaar Season 12, which will take place December 9th and 10th at the Sarasota Municipal Auditorium. If you would like to promote your community event on Suncoast FYI, we would love to hear from you. Just call us at 941-361-4639. To view previous episodes, go to snntv.com under Programming. I'm Nancy O'Neill, and we'll see you next Friday on Suncoast FYI.